Ladies and gentlemen, the American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show, where Milton's about ready to hit. Ron DeSantis just gave a press conference. You know, Ron DeSantis has got his stuff together. This ain't his first rodeo. He knows how to do this. It's just amazing to watch the difference with him and FEMA, or even some of these other states. He says 20 states are helping him. They got utility trucks lined up in Ocala. I saw a picture of them. They got diesel gas coming in. I mean, they just know how to do it. But boy, if you look at that storm, you think, wow. I'm hoping it just keeps downsizing. Before it hits this tonight, it'll just be a Category 3 maybe or something like that. All right, so the Trainwreck tour of Kamala Harris. She goes to, by the way, not in this particular order, but she went on Colbert. I think that was the last one. And she had a beer. And I mean, you ought to, the interview is off the charts terrible. Then she went to Howard Stern. And Howard Stern asked her about leaving the country. First thing I thought, Roger and Jamie, was, is Howard Stern going to talk her into taking off her top? You know, that's how he always did with women. Talk him into taking off her top. How hysterical would that be? It probably would help her numbers if he talked her into taking off her top like he always does. But Howard Stern, we know about the 60 Minutes, and it comes out that they changed the 60-minute interview. She gave two answers to the same questions. But I still thought that guy, overall, did a really good job of asking her some tough questions. And then she went on The View, where she's sitting there. Somebody said it looks like she was auditioning for The View as her next job. There is nothing presidential about Kamala Harris. Trump nailed it. Trump says when she answers these questions, she sounds like a child. And, of course, her numbers are going down. Walz says, Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, he said, China Tim, says no more Electoral College. Isn't that fun? The Electoral College has worked all these decades, all these centuries. By now, let's get rid of it. Ethel Kennedy, God bless her, I think she's 94, 95, had a stroke. Maybe this will bring Bobby back together with his brothers and sisters. Kim Jong-un says he's ready to use nuclear weapons. You know, Kim Jong-un, when he gets ignored for a little bit, Rocket Man decides to say something. By the way, isn't it great that Elton John loved that he used Rocket Man and he's buddies with Trump? All right, there's such a shortage, apparently, of saline in North Carolina that they're using Gatorade. I don't know if they're putting Gatorade in the veins or they're just making people drink it. Pennsylvania poll, it's tightening. Boy, Kamala is not even up 1%, which means Trump's going to win. Trump is, I keep seeing these transgender ads that he's hitting Kamala Harris with. I notice it's during football games. How smart is that? Manly football fans seeing the transgender commercials, that's good. Latino men, along with black men, keep coming Trump's ways. Arizona is going to apparently let 218,000 people, who they don't really know who the hell they are, going to vote. DeSantis, oh my God, it's so good. Biden complimented DeSantis, says he's doing a great job. DeSantis says he's talking to Biden. He says Kamala never did call him. How hysterical is it that Kamala Harris tried to politicize Milton? Boom, blew up in her face. And Joe Biden is helping along the way. $2 trillion is our budget deficit. Do you believe, $2 trillion, do you believe our Congress can't close a $2 trillion gap? Wisconsin, Trump, numbers keep getting small. Trump's going to win in a landslide, I think. Eric Adams' aide, he resigned. He's been charged with tampering with evidence. Look out. Now, this is a funny story. The Dominican Republic are kicking out and deporting 11,000 Haitians. If you did not know, Haiti's on this part of the island. Dominican Republic is on this island. Dominican Republic wants those Haitians to get the hell out of there. But not Springfield, Ohio. Teamsters president says the Democrats effed them. Not good. Poll, Florida, Texas. They say, it's getting close. Trump's widening his lead in Florida and Texas. And the company that makes McDonald's French fries is shutting down plants. That ought to tell you what's going on in the fast food industry. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a saucy, fly-bitten Applejohn, like my producer is on vacation. You heard that, Sabrina. You saucy, fly-bitten Applejohn. I don't know what Applejohn means, but it's a great Shakespearean insult. Coming up next, local news. All right, local news. I just picked out 2 stories. Mark Gasper, this creepy guy that, sex with minors and everything else. The Ohio Supreme Court upheld his conviction. Thank God. And then this good dude right here killed his mother, of all things. Bludgeoned her to death. And, of course, he's been arrested. They have identified, I think their last name is Sherry. Coming up next, Jamie Spinley in World News.
Thank you, Eric. Let's see what's going on in the world today. A German court has acquitted Christian B., a 47-year-old suspect in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, of 5 separate charges of rape and child abuse. Judge Utter Engelmann stated that there was not enough evidence to convict him. Christian B., who had been linked to the 2007 disappearance of the toddler in Portugal, denies any involvement in the case. I remember when that was going on. Jacob Hertzen, 25, became the first person in Victoria, Australia, to be convicted of performing an illegal Nazi salute. The self-described neo-Nazi made the gesture and praised Adolf Hitler in front of news cameras on October the 27th, 2022, outside Victoria County Court. The act followed an appearance for an unrelated charge, leading to the historic conviction in the state. In other news, China has imposed new taxes on imports of European brandy, responding to the European Union resets tariffs on Chinese vehicles. The European Commission criticized China's decision, labeling it an abuse of trade defense measures and pledging to challenge it on the World Trade Organization. And a Russian court has sentenced 72-year-old American citizen Stephen James Hubbard to nearly 7 years in prison for allegedly serving as a mercenary in Ukraine. Hubbard was reportedly captured by Russian forces in April of 2022 whilst fighting in the eastern Ukrainian city of Izum. He was accused of participating in a Ukrainian defense unit with ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That's all I have for today. All those in Florida, be safe. We're thinking about you. Stay tuned for Sports Without Boundaries.
Sports Without Boundaries. Great Major League Baseball playoffs as always. Padres 6, Dodgers 5, Mets 7, Phillies 2. This is a wild story. Dodgers pitcher Buehler was assaulted by a mob in L.A. and had a watch stolen off his wrist, amongst other things. Wow. The New England Patriots are going to start Derek May, their drafted quarterback from North Carolina. We'll see what happens. And the Reds have fired all their hitting coaches. They're keeping their pitching coach. We'll see how that goes. And New York Jets head coach Saleh fired after Aaron Rodgers met with the owner, but that had nothing to do with the firing. By the way, I like Aaron Rodgers because he was an anti-vax guy. But the Jets are a mess. They're always a mess. They're always a mess. This is the Bulldog coming up next, Pop Culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry Bulldog Nation, here we go with Pop Culture. And guess what? P. Diddy stories daily, of course. P. Diddy, the latest, he apparently paid $6 million to pay off a former private security guy. P. Diddy's going to die in prison. He's not going to get bail. He's trying to get bail again. He's not going to get bail. He's going to die in prison. He'll be killed. I still don't understand if you were P. Diddy that you didn't get the hell. I understand Russell Simmons has gone off to Bali or something. He got the hell out. I don't know why P. Diddy didn't. And this guy, who's known as Lieutenant Dan, says he wants to ride out Hurricane Milton. I tell you right now, he's going to end up at the bottom of the ocean. Lieutenant Dan. Can you imagine that? It'd be bad enough trying to ride this out on land. Can you imagine being out there in that water and that boat that guy's got? I don't think so. It's the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope today is yours.